Hello and welcome from New York City. Tech 360 is on the road yet again. My name is Aayush Elavadi and today we're here for the big Amazon devices event. The keyword being Amazon and AI. AI across the Alexa ecosystem. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it mean for India? All that and a lot more on your favorite technology show, Tech 360. I'm here at the big Amazon event in the heart of Manhattan, and it's all about artificial intelligence and about how all their devices have gotten smarter, more contextual, more personalized. In fact, why am I telling you all of this? Let me just show you. Come on. All their devices are now powered by Alexa Plus, running on a new operating system, Vega OS, which continues with the Echo Show devices, and then, of course, also with the studio devices, and so much more. Let me walk you through them one by one. Let's start off with the Echo Show 11. It's an 11-inch screen. It comes with a subwoofer, downward firing over here, also two speakers in the front. If you want a slightly smaller one, then there's the Echo Show 8. I think this is more compact, but also very powerful. The sound design's gotten a whole lot better. You get in a bunch of colors, AI throughout, right? If you want to use it now, Alexa's become a lot smarter. Alexa Plus means that you could use these devices to get routines in, to understand when you need to sleep. They also have integrations with third-party partners like Aura, and that'll continue to increase. That means getting your health metrics in, your blood pressure, your sleep routines, then automating your home and other devices. Now, back in India, some of these use cases are unique. They're aloof. They're separate from an ecosystem. But here in the US, Amazon is a strong ecosystem. And if you look at everything that Amazon does with these devices, this being the interface, then Amazon's logistics and shopping, then of course deliveries and Prime Video, and then Fire TV as well. It becomes an ecosystem just like Apple has, just like Google's trying to build. Amazon has a very strong one as well. And I think these devices with AI are smarter, better, and very interesting to use. A bunch of demos that we were using as well, live demos even at the event, worked. And they worked like a charm. A very close, intimate, exclusive event. But then when you look at the Echo Studio, and this was something that the Amazon devices chief, Panos Panay, actually handed over to the audience. If you look at this particular device, it feels very different. I've used the Echo Dots before. This is the Echo Studio, then there's the Echo Dot Max. But if you use these this time, even holding them, it's a very different design philosophy. 3D printed mesh, very, very powerful, downward firing subwoofer. And then, of course, you have the drivers around it. Premium quality sound. They claim this is the best sound ever on an Echo device. There's a bunch of other devices as well, like the Ring, and also the Kindles. But the Ring, in terms of an India use case, is not used as much. A lot of AI over here as well. Let's show you some of the Kindle devices, which seem to be really creeping into a different territory altogether. They're no longer just, well, books. This is Amazon's future for the Kindle, I think. AI-powered, more a productivity device than just a device that you use to read a book. Now, this one could have a lot of traditional Kindle users a bit confused because they've used it as a book which is non-intrusive. It really lets you do what you want to do, which is read that book. But if you want an option, maybe to take on an iPad, not entirely an iPad, maybe a remarkable, those writing tablets which are all about note-taking, then you have two options. You have the black and white version, which is the Kindle Scribe, and then this is the Kindle Scribe Color Soft. Now, this comes with a light and without a light, depending on whether you're indoors or you're doing this outdoors with a lot of peak brightness. And this one comes in color. What's amazing is that these devices are now AI powered. So if you've come up with a bunch of notes, and you can do this as well on the device if you want to sketch something, because that is how intuitive the whole process is. You can search using AI, saying, if I search for innovation, for example, I would have found this note and many more that I've been trying to do on Tech 360. Now, you can obviously get these saved and uploaded across different drives, Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive, and then the whole process continues across the Amazon ecosystem. So if you have these two devices, they're now more about productivity. You can read your books, but you can also take notes, you can sketch, this seems to be a real shift in terms of how Amazon is viewing their Kindle lineup.
Kindle is definitely having a moment. It's AI that fades into the background, and it's just it makes everybody's lives just a little bit better, a little bit easier, a little bit safer, a little bit more fun.
It was a fantastic device by itself. A lot of book lovers used it from day one, but this one's special. Note-taking, AI. How is this attempt different from the last time?
We have the vision for the original Kindle, which was we want customers to have the opportunity to get lost in the author's word. This device just kind of melts away as they're reading a book. We followed that up with the Kindle Scribe. And the idea with the Kindle Scribe is that customers can feel as if they're lost in their own thoughts. And so whether they like to take notes, notebooks at work, or even if it's a diary or sketching, Kindle Scribe is the device for them.
Okay.
Interestingly, here today we announced Kindle Scribe Color Soft.
Yes.
And this adds the magic of color and to help customers unlock creativity and productivity in their lives. Alexa is being the center of AI for customers, enabling experiences that are useful for them, making sure we have all these devices that are connected to it that help add more data to enable productivity for customers, really make their lives just a little bit easier. And we think Alexa and Alexa Plus can be at the center of this for customers.
How do customers, breathe a sigh of relief or have that assurance that their data is safe and secure across these really cool devices?
So we build safety and security into our devices and build it from the ground up. That hasn't changed over the past many years, and it's not going to change going forward. I do think we've done a good job of earning customers' trusts in India and across the globe. And when you take a look at the devices we launched today, some of the same fundamentals haven't changed. There's still the mute button. There's still the visual cues to let customers know if the device is on or off. And we will always we've committed to this years ago, and I promise it will be the same going forward. We always commit to transparency and control. Customers will have control of their data, and we will always be very transparent about where that data is being used. The pace of innovation right now is extraordinary. We see new inventions on a weekly basis. We certainly, as soon as we invent something, we roll it out to customers, not just with classic Alexa, but certainly Alexa Plus. We're excited about Alexa Plus. We are rolling it out in early access in the United States. India is definitely our fastest growing country in APAC, which is great. When we take a look and we see what we can do, we want to make sure that the experience is truly personalized for customers in India. Language and voice is just one of them. It's also the partnerships, making sure that we want our AI not just to answer questions or to create content. We want our AI to do things for customers, and partners are going to need to be a big part of that. And so, just as we did with Alexa, working hard to work with local partners in India to make sure that we have that full experience for customers.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed the first half of this action-packed episode of Tech 360 from the Big Apple, New York City. And the only other city with a similar energy is Maximum City, Mumbai. So let's take you back to Tech 360 HQ for a very special second half of the show on the other side of a commercial break. It's 2025 and tech is officially everywhere. It's permeated across all sectors and segments, every aspect of our daily lives. And our job here on Tech 360 is how to make your life simpler, better, and more fun using technology. When it comes to health and fitness, that is a whole wearable segment in technology waiting to erupt, to explode. You have, of course, Apple Watches and Garmin smartwatches. Then you also have the Whoop band, which a lot of athletes are endorsing and wearing right now. And then there's also smart rings from companies like Ultrahuman, Gabbit. A bunch of different consumer tech companies have come up with this wearable as well, including Samsung. But the question is, how accurate are these trackers or wearables? Are they doing you more harm than good? And are they a true bang for your buck? That's what I want to figure out in this special health and fitness segment on Tech 360.
The Ultrahuman Ring Air tracks sleep stages and gives a sleep index after just one night. Whoop 5.0 calculates sleep need, sleep achieved, and provides personalized coaching immediately. Apple Watch Ultra 3 and SE 3 also delivers sleep stages and scores. Whoop 5.0 drains only 4 to 7% daily and supports charging with a clip-on pack. Ultrahuman Ring Air retains 70 to 85% battery after 24 hours, lasting up to 6 days. Apple Watch Ultra 3 uses 10 to 15% daily and runs up to 42 hours in low power mode, while the SE3 consumes 35 to 40% and usually needs nightly charging. Apple Watch Ultra 3 and SE3 offer the most comprehensive tracking, covering steps, calories, workouts, GPS, and stand hours. Ultrahuman Ring Air tracks steps, metabolic zones, and non-exercise calories but lacks workout details. Whoop 5.0 skips step counts and instead measures strain score, auto-detecting workouts over 15 minutes. Whoop 5.0 delivers continuous heart rate (HRV), respiratory rate, and temperature tracking. Ultrahuman Ring Air provides accurate resting heart rate (HRV) and SpO2, though less reliable during intense activity. Apple Watch models offer periodic heart rate scans, workout monitoring, and advanced features like ECG and hypertension detection on the Ultra 3. Whoop's app emphasizes AI-driven coaching, recovery, and social features. Apple Watch integrates smoothly with iOS, health, and fitness, though with less personalized guidance. Ultrahuman's app is packed with health tools but has a steeper learning curve and slower syncing.
Okay, I know you want the final verdict from me, but let me summarize all my thoughts about these three different types of wearables. Now, if you consider the Whoop, it's very popular, Virat Kohli, Cristiano Ronaldo endorsing it. It basically prioritizes continuous recovery and performance monitoring with AI coaching, the longest battery life, and it gives you focused health alerts. Now, the fact that it doesn't have a screen, like the Apple Watch, can go in its favor or against it. Me personally, I prefer having a screen giving me those notifications and also keeping me away from my smartphone for some time. This is an extension of my phone and I can use the screen on my wrist. The Whoop doesn't give you that, but a lot of people just want to focus on their recovery and their metrics. And maybe the Whoop does cut it for them. Now, if you're considering a smart ring like the Samsung Ring or a Gabit or the Ultrahuman Ring Air, it would really suit a user who's looking for discreet, subscription-free, sleep metabolic tracking, and it has a strong battery life, lasts for over a week, gives you detailed sleep analysis, though it can sometimes feel overwhelming with notifications. The Apple Watch Ultra 3 or the SE3 is ideal if you want comprehensive daily activity tracking, smart notifications, customizable haptics, and deep iPhone integration. Now, another core analysis of tracking health and recovery and fitness is sleep. Apple has worked on a sleep recovery score this year with the new Apple Watches, and it also really detects breathing disturbances, sleep apnea in other markets around the world, especially in the US. That can be a game changer. The Whoop does have a recovery score, but then again, the interface is what you're looking at with the screen on your wrist. And though the smart rings are probably the best item to go to bed with because they're so discreet, so much in stealth mode, but the fact that you have to sync it with your app on a particular smartphone, I think that is one more step and maybe leads to lesser adoption also in terms of accuracy when it comes to sleep, heart rate, irregular heart rate notifications. The Apple Watch comes right on top, as does the Whoop. The rings really don't fare as well in that department. Now, one issue with the Apple Watch is shorter battery life and it needs regular charging. So your choice really depends on what you value most. An athlete's recovery coach, a Whoop, a sleek metabolic and sleep tracker in the smallest form factor available right now would be one of these rings like the Ultrahuman Ring Air, or a full-featured smartwatch companion that goes far beyond just health and fitness tracking, an extension of your lifestyle. That is the Apple Watch Ultra 3 or the SE3. And of course, the fact that you actually have ECG, irregular heart rate notifications, and fall notifications if someone in your family has fallen, SOS, all of these features make that the ideal extension of your smartwatch. You can also take a Garmin if you want to track your runs, but it's nearly as accurate as an Apple Watch. But in terms of some of the other features, like I said, for health, they also have hypertension alerts coming this year, so patients with blood pressure will also benefit from that. If you want an overall health and fitness companion, then as they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you want something which is all about recovery and maybe using it while you're doing your workouts, then the Whoop does a fairly decent job. And if you want something completely discreet and aren't that serious about very accurate metrics, but just want something that gives you a little bit of a nudge sometimes, then the Ring might be a good option. Now it's time for my favorite segment on the show where we answer all your questions. And the first one is that sunrise or sunset? No, I'm joking. The first question comes from Manas and he's asking, how does the G-turn work? I'm guessing you're talking about the Mercedes G-turn, Manas. Well, why should I tell you? In fact, let me show you. The show's called Tech 360 and I'm in a Merc G580. This is the G-Wagon Electric, which is known for what it does in 360. Let me show you what it does and then explain to you what the tech and engineering behind it is all about. Are we ready for a 360 on Tech 360? Now, what really makes the G-turn possible is the G580's 4-motor electric setup, something you won't find in a conventional G-Class, the G63, or anything from the G-Wagon lineup. Each wheel gets its own permanently excited synchronous motor, which means torque can be managed independently at all 4 corners. This kind of control simply isn't possible with a traditional engine and transmission layout. Now, when the G-turn gets activated, the car sends power forward on one side and backward on the other. The opposing forces cancel out forward motion and instead create a pure rotational force that spins the 3.1-ton SUV around its middle. The system allows up to 2 full 360-degree spins, which I did, before it shuts itself off. That's all it allows you. That's a safeguard to prevent over-stressing the components. That's the tires, that's the battery, and all the entire gamut. In low range, the G580 can unleash a staggering 18,000 Newton meters of torque. But raw power isn't the whole story. The software behind the system is constantly balancing things out. That's where the Tech 360 perspective matters most. Matching wheel speeds, smoothing out the motion, and making sure that this SUV doesn't just jerk or lose traction, even on slippery ground, which we have over here in some parts. Mercedes has also built in advanced torque vectoring that works like a set of virtual differential locks. Instead of relying on heavy mechanical hardware, the G580 can simply vary torque, or basically apply braking at individual wheels whenever needed, keeping everything under control during this complex maneuver. While the G-turn might look like a party trick when shown off at events, it has genuine off-road usefulness. If you're stuck on a narrow track with no room for a 3-point turn, it can spin you around within the vehicle's own footprint. In deep mud, snow, or sand, it can help you reposition and find traction again. This was just a tech demonstration of the 360 turn on the G580 on Tech 360. We'll do a full review of this car, maybe take it for a long drive and tell you how practical it is. 400 to 500 kilometers on a single charge. This car can do a lot, and then a whole lot more as well. We'll also compare it with its ICE counterpart, because this is your one-stop shop for all things tech, AI, auto, because all those worlds are converging. Well, Divya, that's an interesting question, and because we're doing everything practically, no theory for you either, we're going to show you whether the AirPods are worth your money. I was actually just testing in real time the new AirPods Pro. Now, this was a fantastic device in its previous generation, and even before that, this is the 3rd generation of AirPods Pro. Same price as last year. You might get the previous generation a little cheaper now that these ones are out. But should you upgrade is a real question. Better noise cancellation in one sentence, better charge times, better battery of course, and a bunch of other features. But how can you really level up? This time Apple's done a bunch of things which will also be coming from the software side and the hardware side. On the software side, things which really impress us are that there is live translation now on this. So if you're in the middle of Spain, in Barcelona at MWC, and you suddenly started speaking to a native Spanish speaker, you have the AirPods Pro on with the display right over here. I don't have a Spanish speaker right now, but I promise you within the next couple of weeks, we'll find someone to do this live demo. And it will translate from English to Spanish and we can have a seamless conversation. That's one feature that really is impressive. But the one that I was testing was heart rate tracking. So heart rate monitoring now happens with this sensor on the AirPods Pro 3. And what that means is you get fairly accurate heart rate analysis and monitoring from putting this in your ear. That's a lot of tech. But what does that mean for the Apple Watch? It doesn't really integrate as well as the Apple Watch with its heart rate and other heart notifications, and now even hypertension works with the health app, but you can get heart rate monitoring on your AirPods now, which is kind of cool. Maybe that's the future of wearables. In terms of specs, you also now have a multi-port acoustic architecture with better airflow, so there's better bass, more clarity, and a much wider soundstage. Now, in terms of noise cancellation, there is ultra low noise microphones and foam-infused ear tips. Apple's also claiming 2x better noise cancellation than the previous generation. I have been using this and also interchanging it with the Sonys and the Boses and even the Beats. And I have realized that the noise cancellation is fairly decent. You put it in, you can personalize the sound, spatial audio. But what's really cool is that if I want to record without a microphone, right now I'm strapped up with a mic and I just want to put these on, they now have these high quality microphones. And this obviously wouldn't substitute a genuine external mic, but now when you are recording as a content creator, the mic on the AirPods will be able to give you the sound that you desire. Also, if it's rainy weather like we have in Mumbai and all across the country, and you want to do a workout or you're just sweating a lot, there's now IP57 dust and water resistance, which is better than IP54 from the last generation. So if you're getting this at the same price as the AirPods Pro 2, it's a no-brainer. You'd want the newer tech. Not much has changed in terms of the design, it's almost the same. The physical button to pair them has now gone. It's a little bit difficult to get used to, but once you do, you just tap on the front screen, the pairing starts. So final verdict, of course, if you're getting this at the same price, which is around 25,900 with a bunch of festive season sales and offers, maybe even lesser, this is a great buy. You wouldn't want to go for 2 or 3 or 4-year-old tech or even older. This is probably the most reliable companion you can have. A bunch of features now for fitness and health, a bunch of features in terms of content creators, and more importantly, since last year, it now doubles up as a hearing aid for someone who might need it as well. So quite a nifty package. It's a worthy upgrade. It's not very, very different in terms of how it looks, but there's a lot in terms of it packing a punch. Well, we hope you enjoyed our coverage from what I like to call sister cities, New York and Mumbai. So different in so many ways, but so similar in terms of energy, vibe, from Brooklyn to Bandra. We hope you've enjoyed Tech 360, taking you on a mini tour around the world. And talking about a 360, what did you make of that G-turn? Do you want more of that content? You should write to us on our social media handles. Right now, I'm back in Maximum City, and we're already, while you're watching this, putting together the next action-packed episode of Tech 360. My name is Aayush Elavadi. Until next week, adios.